All right, and we are back for another Diorama stream. Everything's kind of almost done being dried up. Just need to do a few more things here and there, but there's still a few little cracks that are drying, but I could probably work through it. I'm gonna get one more coat of gray onto the corners there, and then I think I may need to do a bottom layer at some point. It's kind of bowing a bit, so I think I'll do that before I add all the trees and shit this tonight. But yeah, it'll probably be better to do it tonight, so I can't do anything crazy like sand or whatnot tonight. But just because I need to kind of even out the bottom there. But I can try doing a test fit later, see if it'll fix that. But yeah, so we're gonna work on the rocks here, and then we'll switch on over to doing the background layer because that was pretty much ready to go almost. So normally I kind of do the base layer first and then the background last, but since this one's taking a little bit longer than it should, or not longer, but I can just have less tasks for this one or for that one. So well, because the background layer for this is going to be very, very simple. There's going to be some trees, some mountains, and some sky. So that's all you need for an effective fill. And I need a smaller brush. There's one little area I noticed earlier. Needs to be taken care of. Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick second coating here. And then we'll switch over to the back wall, side walls, and then we'll kind of just pop on over between them. Just getting some stuff done. And if the bowing continues, yeah, I'll do a quick test off air to see. And then I'll just do a because the way you kind of fix the bowing is you kind of have to paint the other underside, but that'll be difficult if I have a bunch of like trees and sand and shit on this diorama. So I think I'll do that after all the details on these rocks are done. I'm just trying to clean up these rocks here a little bit too brown for my liking, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it if I can't get everything. Okay, let's get the other side. Just trying to get areas that look a little unfinished, Yeah, I should probably do the underside painting before I do any really crazy details. But yeah. Should I weigh it down a bit on some? I can't really do that right now, but. Oh. Here, be a better angle here. There we go. A little bit on the water. It's okay. All right. Leave that alone for a bit. And just going to thin up the paint as much as possible and make the drying process as quick as possible. And then we'll move on over to the back and side walls. So move my arrays out of the way. Long ass. Fuck you. All right. And here's the back wall. It looks like it's fully dried. So I'm gonna go on this one. And I didn't write which side's which, so oh, there we go. Right, black. Rough. Stripping me. All right, let's see. So we want to do some mountains here, so we'll do you want gray mountains or brown? I guess gray would be better. Then it'll contrast better with the brown, like trees and shit. So the best option. But we'll do a different type of gray here. Find one. No, let's do this one. Get a big sponge stick. The hell one is gray. There we go. Sometimes it comes all liquidy and stupid. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like more subdued mountains here, not really rocky mountains here, just kind of more hillish. This is an island, so you don't really see a whole lot of rockies, at least not from the ones I see. Well, you probably would, but it depends on where you are. But I'm just going this way because it's easier. And it's a little bit different than what I normally do with mountains. So I like to do something new. This is just gonna be a one coat wonder. Honestly enough, may actually have the back wall done first. So I'm more kind of do on the base, but I think once all the really hard stuff is done drying, it'll start to move by a lot faster and a lot more smoothly. Just gonna put a little different one mountains here. Okay. Put out these guys. These little blurbs. All right. Okay. Let's do this guy. This is the west side. So kind of point to where our mountain starts here. And just I think the right side. Both right now. Okay. Yeah, my tank things are still actually drying. Might have laid it paint on a little too thick, so. But it's gonna be it's gonna be probably the one that takes the longest. If it take it forever to dry, because it's probably what's keep it. Let's get this going. That's enough. Right. And we'll grab our side here, like always. And that's our right side. So once the rocks on the base are done, that's when we're kind of going to take a break, at least from that portion of the diorama, because we have to do my I have to fix the bowing effect on the foam there. So yeah, looks like they're still drying over there. It's kind of the worst part about doing this is that you have to wait for everything to dry. So I'm just gonna leave the water alone for now until once the bowing is fixed on the foam. I'll go ahead and detail it all up because otherwise it'll be a lot harder to do that. So yeah, there's a little mountains, at least starting to take shape. And we need to do our sides. Let's do some little detail work now on the mountains. Move these two to the side and bring you back. See if you're ready to go. Still kind of drying in some areas. So, God damn it! The worst part is waiting for fucking paint to dry. Let's see. Yeah. So here's the tank so far that I painted this morning, and still drying a few areas, but they're actually coming out pretty good actually. I like the way they're coming together. Like the different levels of like kind of paint, kind of in there. So I guess I can do some work on the tanks at least. Yeah, just a little bit of work on these guys. Big that time. Use Spanish olive. And what the fuck is that? It's not Spanish. It's some ooze. Secret of the ooze stuff right there. That should be good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna paint the tanks, and then we'll do dry brushing on top of it after. Dry brush the green actually. I'm not gonna worry too much about these edges here because I will be covering that with some sand, connect sand when I get to that part. Why am I blacking up? There we go. Yeah, there's our little tank so far. Let's try and thin out this brown paint as much as possible. Go over just a little bit. There we go. Coming together nicely. Just got to wait for it to dry. That's good enough. Just gonna note these greens here, make it more natural, muddy. Like on there. Okay. My two little tank formations. Just gotta dry, let them dry, and then we do some dry brushing later. So we'll check on our back and side walls. See they're ready for some detail. Oh, I have to call it stream early because it's like not much for me to do now. Still waiting for the base to dry over there. I can see it still wet. All right, maybe another short one. 30-minute stream. God damn. I'm gonna put this out real quick. Maybe I can kind of speed things along. You could do a second coating then. So you need to get rid of these like guidelines here. So we'll do that. I think I'll call it a wrap after that because I don't know if there's much for me to do after this. I might come back a little bit later tonight. Let's see. This is why it's important to kind of, that's why I kind of will do like base coats and stuff like that before I air, because that way it's more for me to do on stream. A lot of times it's me just sitting around with paint drying, but we can find other ways to busy ourselves. So yeah, okay. Okay, so those pen marks you can probably cover some foliage. Not gonna worry too much about it. Just want the colors going. Or the black or blue, whatever the color is. Anyways. Alright, let's do you. Let's clean up these mountains a bit. And I think we'll call it a wrap. At least for now. This is kind of what the next few days will probably look like of me doing quick burst live streams, like 30 to an hour minutes, maybe. I think then we'll kind of we go until we can't do anything else. It's kind of how I work with these live streams because, you know, at the end of the day, it's like you're just like watching paint dry, and it's just like, no, it's kind of boring. It's mostly what happens most of the time if yeah, you don't do the base coats early on, but here's what it is. All right. Next one, then we'll take a little break. Just trying to think about what I can work on. Well, I guess it couldn't hurt to do the fix the bowing on the base layer now before I start to detail it up too much, you know. Yeah, I'll do that right now. Actually, I'll do that because then I can get that going and not to worry about it later on. And there won't be a whole lot because it really happens when you put a whole lot of paint on it. So if I can kind of even it out on the other side, I can get that sorted. Okay, into that now. Got a bunch of that there, so I'll use that for the paint on the back. Okay. Place these on the ground. And let's see, so we need to find a way to stabilize this guy or suspend it upside down. So we just need you and you. And you two can go over here. Okay, so we're about 2 inches off the ground. So we're at 2-inch foam. Nope, 3 inches because we have the one bit. So okay. 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 There's my good scraps. Use you. Okay. And I might need some 1/4-inch foam here. Use this one. Some heavy items. Use them lay it down. And okay. Heavy stuff. Let's see. What else do you guys? That should be enough. Let's see if I can do this. I don't think I need the 1/4 inch. Hold on. I think we need. Shit my way. All right. Grab you and shit. Oh, scraps. Bigger space. Do this. This is how we kind of fix the bowling. Is we kind of just weigh it down, paint the bottom side, and then we kind of just leave it for maybe a couple hours. So I think doing this now will kind of benefit us later because now it'll allow us to kind of do more work later tonight. We'll probably stream again around 6. It's like 3 hours from now. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get a thick layer of paint on here. And then we'll kind of weigh it down, kind of sort of help fix it to the or kind of straighten it out more so. Just get that done. All right, let's see. Put the paint on this side. This big bin on this side. this guy in the middle. Oop. All right. Should be okay. It doesn't pull apart. So, yeah, that's going to be it for the day, guys. There's my diorama. Just kidding. Just gotta wait for this whole thing to dry, and then we'll come back later in about 3 hours, and then hopefully this will be all straightened out, and we can do some detail work on the base layer, and then obviously continue work on the back and side walls, and hopefully the tanks will be ready for dry brushing as well. So. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. It's a short one, but I think that we'll probably go for a little bit longer in a couple hours. So yeah. So yeah, on that note, I will see you guys later.